Let's just jump right into this explainer, because we are looking at something that is literally shifting the ground beneath the software engineering world. Today, we're unpacking the AI Developer Toolbelt. We're talking about how these exceptionally powerful coding assistants are completely rewriting the modern workflow. You know, whether you're a seasoned engineer who's frankly exhausted by the daily grind, or maybe you're a non-technical visionary looking to build something amazing from scratch. We're going to dig into the exact tools and techniques that are turning absolute beginners into full-stack developers almost overnight.
Now, the absolute core promise here, speed. And I don't mean typing a little bit faster. I mean a true 10x acceleration in your actual building process. It's a total game changer for how you spend your cognitive energy. Instead of getting bogged down in endless boilerplate or staring at a terminal trying to figure out why a build failed in a giant sea of text, these tools step in and just do the heavy lifting for you. By ripping away those tedious roadblocks, you're suddenly free to focus entirely on the fun stuff, higher-level logic, user experience, and architecture.
We are officially leaving the old way of development in the dust. I mean, think about it. The days of writing every single line from scratch, praying to the syntax gods, hunting down that one elusive missing comma, and doom-scrolling through 8-year-old Stack Overflow forums, that is fading so incredibly fast. What we're moving into is a reality driven by advanced AI autocomplete, real-time refactoring, and natural language prompts that execute one-click fixes right inside your editor. It's a complete paradigm shift. We're moving from manual labor straight to intelligent orchestration.
Let's get into the specifics. Section 1. Prompting the code generator.
The source material actually points out that these assistants can literally write entire applications for you in seconds. And we're talking about tools like Cursor or GitHub Copilot here. They aren't just guessing the end of a variable based on the last few characters you typed. No, because they index and read your entire code base. It's honestly like having a senior developer sitting right there inside your editor. They know the broader context of your project, they understand how all your files connect, the specific libraries you're importing, and even the overall design patterns you like to use.
So how do we actually squeeze the absolute best results out of this? Well, the golden rule is clear, plain English, describing your exact intent. But advanced prompt engineering goes a lot deeper into how you structure that intent. First up, you've got to be ultra specific about your stack. Don't just say, hey, build a login page. Say, build a login page using React, Tailwind CSS, and Firebase authentication. Second, use modular prompting. Break those massive requests into smaller logical chunks, instead of demanding a whole app at once. Like ask for the database schema first, then do the API route, then the front-end component. And finally, set constraints. Tell the AI exactly what not to do. Say something like avoid class components. Stick entirely to functional components with hooks. By laying out your intent, your tech stack, and your constraints right up front, the AI can instantly spit out flawless, production-ready code that fits your project like a glove.
Moving right along to Section 2, Advanced Automated Debugging.
Now this is where the AI really flexes its muscles. We've all been there. You hit that massive red error screen. But with an advanced debugging workflow, tools like Replit Agent or Claude Engineer don't just stare at the broken line in isolation. First, they autonomously scan your entire repository. They trace variables, state changes, and dependencies across multiple files to find the true root cause of the bug. Next, they translate that ridiculously complex traceback into plain English, explaining exactly why the architecture broke down. And that is absolutely huge for actually learning from the mistake, instead of just copy-pasting a blind fix. Finally, they generate and deploy the exact targeted fix with a single click. It's essentially an autonomous agent that neutralizes bugs by actually understanding the full anatomy of your code.
And that brings us to Section 3, building from simple sketches. It is genuinely mind-blowing what platforms like v0.dev or bolt.new can do right now. You can literally take a rough napkin sketch or maybe a screenshot of a UI you really admire, and the AI turns it into a functional web application. Seriously, say goodbye to spending 3 agonizing hours just trying to center a div. It writes the front-end code to match your image flawlessly, handles the necessary back-end logic and state management, and lets you deploy the whole thing live to the web in under 60 seconds. It just collapses the timeline from a raw visual concept to a live, interactive product. It's almost magic.
Next up, supercharging your build process.
So what does this mean for you? Well,
Whether you're a seasoned software engineer who just wants to automate away repetitive boilerplate and test writing, or maybe a non-technical founder trying to launch your very first minimum viable product, these platforms adapt to your exact needs. They strip away the steep learning curve of syntax and server config, practically turning absolute beginners into full-stack developers overnight. And here's a massive takeaway for anyone listening right now. You can utilize the generous free tiers of these platforms to get ahead of the curve today with absolutely zero upfront investment. The barrier to entry for software creation has literally never been lower.
Let's wrap this explainer up with a thought. By eliminating the manual, tedious tasks of coding, the endless syntax hunting, the exhausting debugging loops, the fragile server configurations, you're freeing yourself up to focus purely on the art of software creation. You actually get to focus on logic, design, user experience, and the real visionary purpose behind your product. So if the AI is now fully equipped and ready to do all of the heavy lifting, what incredible ideas are you going to build with your newly reclaimed time?